Hey y'all, I'm your host, Aaron Smith of the Offshore Marine Service Association. Each Friday, I'll bring you the Offshore Briefing, a quick rundown of the week's notable developments, updates, and news you need to know in the offshore space. Whether you're on deck or at your desk, we're glad you're here.
Welcome, everybody, to Maritime in America. We are coming back for the start of our second season here, and this is the Offshore Briefing. I know. One full season, yes. But look, I mean, this wasn't like some Netflix flash in the pan 8 episode. We did 37 episodes last year.
I feel like that was a shot at something.
Oh, what are you listening to? What you said?
It was just making fun of the shows that will have 8 episodes and call it a season or something like that. That's not a season.
It isn't.
There was a great thing
It's going to be stupid.
that Netflix produced that had 8 episodes, and it was really great.
What was it?
Stranger Things.
That was also something else I'm going to talk about. Because I'm so sick of all the tweens talking about this new. I watched it all. We loved it. This new season this episode that's about to happen. Our daughter has literally been like crying about it. She's like, they lied to me, and I was like, no one lied to you. You are the marketing dream. Like, they want people like you that fall for everything. That's what she was talking about this morning.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Well, and welcome everyone, and welcome to my co-host Ashley and Angel, who are both Stranger Things fanatics. Yeah, haven't seen a single
great
episode.
Closing to
I disagree. No one died. I need more people to die.
I mean, the major person died.
No one died. It was so annoying.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We've been in the office here, I guess, a week and a half or so. But welcome back to the new year, and happy to get this back. What are we starting 2026 on? What are we going to talk about here? Ashley,
I will start. I sent an email out to the membership to remind everyone of the huge deadline, January 12th. And that deadline is for all the vessels that are applicable under the Coast Guard final rule, cybersecurity final rule. That is the deadline to have your initial training done for your employees. And it is important that everyone looks over the checklist that I've provided, because it explains who the initial training should go towards. Not to be confused with the key personnel training. So I just want to remind everyone.
And is the 12th the deadline for key personnel training as well, or is this just the initial?
The initial training.
Initial training.
Yes. Now you're making me second guess it, but I'm right. I hate that. But I also
check the checklist.
Yeah, check the checklist because it's on there. But I also wanted to say, I found, because I'm talking with people, that there's just so much question into, and I believe we brought this up on another podcast about, what is needed, who is needed. Please don't, if you feel like, not that you're getting taken advantage of that, but you're doing unnecessary steps, please step away and give me a call or Aaron a call and let us help you, because that's what we're here for. And I was able to provide some great resources to a few AMSA members that were, smaller in size, not as many employees, and didn't quite need the extensive training that was given by other options that were given, just to help them out. So I would love to be able to help out anyone. So just let me know. So that's one thing that I'd like to remind everyone, because it's a huge deal, and I will continue to remind our members about it and advocate for them. The other one is the February 4th regulatory meeting that we're going to be hosting down in Homa at the Courtyard Marriott. I am working on the agenda, and I've invited our Coast Guard folks. Have been talking about some other issues. Aaron, I know that you always give a great update. Do you want to give a sneak peek on what you'll talk about?
So I want to talk about IMO updated guidance on confined space entry. Hopefully we'll have an update on citizenship. I want to talk about new commandant who has now finally been confirmed by the Senate, and hopefully we'll have some updates there. Also just some general Coast Guard leadership updates. Then some updates on some issues that we are seeing. Got one on Safer Seas Act that we're following. Hope to get some clarity there. And OSB Chemical Code. Hope to get some update there. Also think I've had 2 calls in the last week on this. I refuse to call it by its official name because its official name is stupid, but the OBBBB included
I really thought that was a joke.
no.
I
that-
know.
that
I mean,
was-
I know it's not, but I did when it first came
Yep,
out.
that is the official title of the law. Um, it included a tax deduction for overtime wages of up to $12,500 for single filers, $25K for married filing jointly, and it dated back to 2025. So now, as vessel operators are going through and completing their W-2s, they're having to list that even though it was not taken out of the paychecks when they're provided. You now taxpayers need to make a reasonable cause. So you're going to have people that are going to start to claim it. Employers are going to start to hear from it, something we should probably have. So IRS has good guidance, but I know I keep getting the question. So should probably have something on that. So that was kind of what I'm looking to talk about, and amongst other regulatory issues.
Yeah. Oh, great. Well, it'll be a good event, and like always, I'm always wanting to hear from some members on who they want to hear from, what they want to hear about, not just what we have coming up. I mean, so much more. But more importantly, I wanted to update the listeners that we got a dog. We got a dog. His name is Baxter. He is so beautiful, and he's our best friend.
That's not the Baxter song.
I know.
There
And
is
he's-
the Baxter song.
He's so adorable. He's some sort of mix, mutt, beautiful angel sent from heaven.
I think he's mostly lap. He's totally lap.
Definitely has some pit in him.
Yeah.
Has some sort of pointer. He's a retriever, although we're working on the retrieving skills. Anyway, he's so sweet and so cute, and we love him, and he's ginormous.
Yes.
Maybe I'll put him in Friday Fast Facts tomorrow.
Friday Fast Facts sponsored by Baxter.
Sponsored by Baxter. Yeah.
Which does, if AMSA members, you should have seen the email that went out earlier this week with our 2026 calendar. And on that email, please make sure you also view the sponsorship opportunities we have provided in an effort to lessen the amount that Ashley harasses you. We have provided a stop harassing me, Ashley option for sponsorships. If you only want to get harassed once, can get.
I mean, I'll harass you for other things, but you just come and sponsor, and it basically covers almost every single AMSA event minus the crawfish boil, which has to be a separate ticketed event because it is an event all on its own.
Yeah. So if you want to just get harassed once for that, and it also includes a sponsorship in there for Friday Fast Facts. So if you want
if you want to take over for Baxter, let us know.
yes.
But he'll be pissed, and he's literally pissed because he's not housebroken yet. And he's
working
so
on
cute.
it. It's getting close. All right, Angel, what are you talking about this week?
So I just wanted to remind everyone that OSVDPA exists. I've gotten a number of calls today that people are just finding out about it. So I just wanted to mention OSVDPA. I know some mariners listen, some vessel operators listen, training providers. So give me a call. We are increasing in numbers. Since 2024, our numbers have increased approximately over 200%. So that's really good. That's like 3 times the numbers that we had before. Also, anyone who currently has OSVDPA cert, if you certification is expiring this year, you can apply. You can apply for revalidation starting now. So give me a call or email. So all DPOs, qualified onboard assessors, training providers, give me a call or send me an email if you have any questions about OSVDPA.
And thank you for that. And yeah, I remember seeing, and I signing the approval letters. I signed a lot of approval letters last year. So yeah, I'm not surprised that it's up 230%. I didn't know it was that many, but it was a massive number last year. And so that is good to see. And I do think that is a very good, important point, that if you're looking to revalidate, if you're worried about what's going to happen, if you're going to have enough sea time later, if you just want to lock this in now, if you're worried about being offshore when your revalidation comes up, unlike other people, we don't make you revalidate when your cert is expiring. You can revalidate anytime up to after 4 years. So if your cert's expiring anytime within a year, revalidate right now, and we won't certificate creep you. We'll put your new expiration date will be 5 years after your old expiration date. So that's a very good one. Yes. I wanted to talk about today was
Not Stranger Things, apparently.
yes. No, I do not.
There's a Stranger Things. No, Target is doing a line, and what is that? The candy or the little chocolate eggs that our girls love. Kinder Joy is doing a Stranger Things. I've been told to be on the lookout for them for my niece.
That does that's kind of like, no one ever does this anymore, but remember, like, well, when I was growing up, maybe not
Back
when
in the-
Angel was growing up, but when there would be a movie and it would be like full marketed, like you would have like Burger
Yes,
King would have something.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. So they're doing it for Stranger Things, but my nieces who are obsessed, which I don't know if it's appropriate. Who am I to say what's appropriate? Our children watch the most inappropriate stuff, but she knew everything, and she had her whole bedroom done. It was so cool. And she said, Aunt Ashley, if you find those Kinder Joys, buy them all. I was like, I will.
Psychos. So I wanted to bring up, I saw something, and this was actually last year, but wanted to didn't want it to appear that we were providing any preference or favoritism. So I wanted to wait for it to close before, but I do think it is important to note about the Coast Guard issued last year an RFP for logistic support vessels for the Coast Guard. And this was to provide vessels to support Coast Guard missions in the Caribbean Basin, Gulf of America, and surrounding areas, Atlantic area, Pacific area, polar regions. And I think that this is when you go through and you read the requirements of this proposal, this is a great example of exactly what we've talked about building out the U.S. maritime supply chain provides for military and homeland security value to the nation. That's what we've talked about all along. That's what we've always said. And this is a just perfect example of that, because when you go through and you look line by line what the Coast Guard is looking for, it's the exact vessels that we have in our industry. So I just looked at and I pulled up the requirements and then that were listed in the RFP, and then pulled up a sample vessel here, and just going line by line, it's just so clear that it's what they're looking for are vessels from our industry. And it shows that what supporting the U.S. offshore energy industry means for national security. So it's they want a vessel that's available that's available 94.5% of the time. So that means 345 days out of a year or so. That's something that our industry can easily meet. And while that doesn't, and that doesn't sound like much to us, but it is kind of interesting when you look at other, not Coast Guard, but some other government-owned fleets that don't have op tempo of 95%. They don't have op tempo of 55%. So it just shows you again what our industry can provide. They want a range of 2,000 nautical miles at an economical speed. I mean, that's nothing for a mid-sized OSV. Usually has a range of 4,000 to 6,000 nautical miles, I believe.
What is nautical miles to miles per hour?
And it's just about the same. It's within 80, I believe. Need to look at it again, but it's pretty close. Capability to transit at 10 knots or greater. That's at the upper end, but most OSVs have a max speed of somewhere 10 to 12. And then, you can definitely get above 10, but then it's just how much fuel do you want to burn? Provide a minimum of 1-person stateroom, 4 1-person staterooms, and 2 4-person staterooms, total of 12 Coast Guard personnel. That's easy. I mean, we have vessels that have berthing capabilities of somewhere in the 30 range, if you're talking about a truly sub-L vessel, up to the hundreds range there. The ability to safely store and house 4 20-foot containers, again, completely easy. The ability to, and this one was kind of interesting that I saw, the ability to provide a minimum of 2,760 gallons of potable water per day to support government personnel and crew living on board, and then 12 1,240 gallons of fresh water for miscellaneous use. So 4,000, that, that sounds like a lot, 4,000 gallons. So I didn't know that. So I looked up the sample vessel, which I took a very mid-range vessel, something that wasn't hugely, it's something that was built in 2014 and is, just under 300 feet long. So, something that's not too out of the normal. So they wanted 4,000 gallons per day. This vessel has the ability to carry 1,000 gallons of potable water plus 268,000 gallons of rig water, meaning back deck water. And in addition, if that's not enough, it can also make 8,000 gallons of water a day. Just can make 8,000 gallons of fresh water a day. So, going through these kind of stats are the exact sort of thing that our industry has built and provided here in the United States. And now the military is going to be able to have the ability to have that at a lower cost than what they would have to have if they went and purchased it. And look, this is the model that we can have going forward. I think it's very possible that there are conflicts with large nation states, i.e. Russia or China in the future. But I think there's also a lot of asymmetric conflicts that happen where you're fighting drug cartels or you're fighting something like that. You don't need battleships for that. You need smaller vessels that can get places quickly and carry a lot of equipment. That's what OSVs do. And our nation has the capacity to have that and support that because they have supported a U.S. offshore energy industry. But we can only keep that if we don't have foreign vessels with foreign mariners coming in and we don't outsource our national security and our shipbuilding to other nations. So we need to be very careful and make sure that we don't do that so we can keep having these sort of capabilities and these vessels that have these amazing capabilities here within our own fleet. So that was what I saw. I thought was interesting.
My story was more interesting.
One of your stories was more interesting. The one that...
I do have a maritime question for you. As we are filming this, I'm watching I can see the boats going down the top of why did they build the CCC not tall enough to let the bigger ships go up?
I don't think
they can't.
No, it's not an air draft question on the CCC. It's a dredge question.
That's what that was my next question.
Yeah,
is that why?
It's dredge.
Well, why wouldn't they have just dredged it? Because that would take you can't.
They've taken it down. It's just
I was just curious.
The authorized depth just went from 45 to 50 feet. I think.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just
recently.
Curious.
It was in a WRDA bill. WRDA. What does WRDA stand for? It was a Water Resources Development Act. Yes.
Yeah.
Passed every 2 years, usually.
Yeah, I know. Duh.
Yep. Largest earmark ever in the WRDA bill was sponsored by who? Kenny Holsoff.
Kenny Holsoff.
Yep.
All right. On that note.
Don't ask dumb questions. You won't get dumb answers.
Hey, there's no such thing as dumb questions, just dumb people.
Now there is another bridge that was made too low.
The Huey P. Long.
The old
yes,
bridge.
And I remember that.
Rouge.
Oh.
And that was made so that no ocean going ships could go farther north than Baton Rouge.
Right.
So all the commerce stayed in Louisiana.
Right.
So,
smart.
Yep. Smart for us. All right. I think that's all we have today. Everyone be safe.
Have a great weekend.
Happy Friday.
Happy day. That wraps up another episode of Maritime in America. We're proud to highlight the voices and stories that keep the American offshore industry strong. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. And remember, the course ahead is shaped by those who step up and steer it. If you liked what you heard, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your crew. Tune in every Friday for your offshore briefing, and don't miss our next full episode, dropping soon with the very special guest's mariner's perspective. Catch you next time.